I've been following listening to Huda London recently. And I was listening to her reading I've never heard of 4chan, the 4chan boards, which appear to be Sigma Chi fraternity students. And to be honest, I just thought, that's it. Oh, I seem to have a spoon down there. Right. I just thought that is it. Because I don't know, because I don't know, what are the arguments against it? Have people read this 4chan or these message board things, and is this gone? Because I didn't get interested in this until June-ish, and so I may have missed this part. I haven't seen any other videos about it. But the interesting thing, I can't remember if it's her, I know Bubbly Waters has mentioned it, but I think it's mentioned in the message boards about steroid use. And from the beginning, I have thought it's a big possibility is somebody who has taken, who is on or was taken, like when I say is on as in they're a regular user, somebody who's on something that causes aggression, some kind of drug that causes aggression. So like meth is a drug that's very much associated. There've been violent murders by people on meth. I think crack the same, but steroids also can, it's well known, isn't it, about steroids. And I was just looking at an old, I made a video about rage drugs, really popular, got about 35 views. Then I've listened to it, and oh my god, the sound on it's really bad, and it's really odd because I'm using the same device, so I don't know why. I don't actually know why I'm shutting the window either. Sorry, thinking aloud as usual. I've got an art, so I just started to try and look up the article. Thought I'll make some of the video again, but because of the sound. But then, so there was a 2018. In 2018, there was some guy who was busted for steroids, selling steroids, dealing steroids. Absolute, a lot. But this is interesting. Have you heard of SARMs before? They're steroid-like drugs, and I do believe they became fairly popular amongst youngsters. And also the military, there's a bit of a steroid problem in the military, and I've been itching to put that video together, but I have 2 billion videos that I seem to need to put together, so I'm chasing my tail at the moment. But this is about the steroid-like drugs, SARMs, selective androgen receptor modulators, and this guy pled guilty for selling over $4.4 million in unapproved steroid-like drugs in April of this year in Boise. Michael Terry Little. I wonder if he's any relation to Bill Little. Imagine if it was. I think we'd have heard about it. 51 years old, of Nampa, that's not too far from Boise, pled guilty to the introduction of unapproved new drugs in interstate commerce. Josh Hurwitz. I've heard from Hurwitz before. He was when the Tacoma drugs bust. Was it Tacoma? No, it must have been an Idaho one, because isn't this guy an Idaho judge? There was a recent Oregon, Idaho drugs bust. Yeah, it wasn't Tacoma. Big drugs bust, and Josh Hurwitz was all over the news about it. Young, handsome attorney. According to court records, Little ran a business selling selective androgen receptor modulators. So he primarily sold them via a website, SARM.tech. Imagine if spreading rumours here, but I'm not spreading rumours, I'm telling you, I'm saying imagine if Kaylee had gone to work, because they said it's a tech company, and maybe she told her parents it was a tech company. It's called SARM Tech, but it turned out it wasn't a tech company. Weird thing, Kendra, I noticed, who is an ex-housemate, I looked at her Instagram, and you've probably seen it also on Truth and Transparency. I saw that Lana also had clocked this. I don't know of many female bodybuilders, especially at that age, 20, 21, but she's clearly a bodybuilder, and I think there's a quick progression to very, very muscular. And some of her videos, I thought, I don't know, I was a little bit, is that a bit crazy? I don't know if they were just kooky or borderline crazy. Spreading more gossip. But so Little primarily sold SARMs products on this website. New drugs, they're not that new, but fairly new. And they're not approved, so people don't even know with dosages and stuff. It's not been very rigorously tested. So he manufactured these products in a business in Nampa. He processed the bulk ingredients he imported from China, encapsulating, bottling, and preparing them for shipment. To avoid government seizures of SARMs shipped to other countries, Little offered a stealth shipping option for an additional fee that intentionally mispackaged and falsely declared SARMs shipments as vitamins and supplements. Law enforcement made multiple undercover purchases of SARMs containing ostarine, ligandrol, and other SARMs compounds. And so this was between March 2018 and 22. So it's like a long time project for these undercover cops, undercover FBI, whatever. So Little sold at least that many dollars worth of SARMs products. That's a lot of dollars worth. Okay, faces maximum penalty of 3 years in federal prison. So there you go. would you like to look at those boards that are on 4chan? Because I just can't believe it. I would like to, because I did see it on Huda's channel, so you can. I'll put her video in the description if you prefer. You could go to watch her reading this, and I would recommend her channel in general because she's got some very interesting videos. So I will put that video in the description, and I would recommend people go over there anyway if you still stick around to listen to me. 4chan, for anybody who doesn't know, because I did not know, so I need to. It's based on a Japanese company called Futaba Channel. It's the counterpart to the Japanese image board. So it's an image board company, but it specifically has anime and manga, video games, cooking, weapons, television, music, literature, history, fitness, and it's got some stuff that's quite innocuous, but there has been some controversy with it, and there has been some alt-right activity on it. Rage comics, the controversy and harassment incidents, internet raids. So this one, on July the 10th 2008, the swastika CJK Unicode character appeared at the top of Google's Hot Trends list. Flipping heck. A tally of the most used search terms in the United States for several hours. It was later reported that the HTML numeric character reference for the symbol had been posted on B with a request to perform a Google search for the string. A multitude of B visitors followed the order and pushed the symbol to the top of the chart, though Google later removed the result. So yeah, they're messing with people basically. There's a lot of messing. A lot of hoax messing type stuff. In 2009, members of the site attacked YouTube posting pornographic videos. So they're like, they'll hack into something and put stuff on, and they did something to this Turner guy up here as well, launching attacks, causing him to go offline, and he had thousands of dollars of bandwidth bills. Something about Sarah Palin there. So, but let's go and look at the porn. Of course, we'll go straight for the filth. In May 2019, members of the site attacked YouTube, posting pornographic videos on the video sharing platform under names of teenage celebrities. The attack spawned the popular internet meme and catchphrase, "I'm 12 years old and what is this?" as a response to a user comment on one such video. A 4chan member acknowledged being part of the attack, telling BBC News that it was in response to YouTube deleting music. Revenge, that's what you call revenge porn. In January 2010, members of the site attacked YouTube again in response to the suspension of the YouTube user LukiWes1234 for failing to meet the minimum age requirement of 13. The videos uploaded by the user had apparently become popular with 4chan members who subsequently became angered after the account was suspended and called for a new wave of porn. Release the porn! A new wave of pornographic videos to be at least uploaded to YouTube on January this. Okay, I'm all over excited here. On January 6, 2010. Later the same year, 4chan made numerous, I wonder when they bring Bieber into it, disruptive pranks directed at singer Justin Bieber. Okay, so a lot of pranking going on. So it does make you wonder, doesn't it, really? Yeah. So, although, yeah, sorry, I'm on Medium, but then we're looking at 4chan. But if they're pranksters, this could all be not the actual people who we think it is, but screw it, let's read it nonetheless. So just bear that in mind, though. I mean, look at this guy. This is Berryoko, I'm going to go with. So, if you've seen it, don't worry, I won't be offended if you leave. But I'm going to go through this. Hold on, I'm just going to take a little break. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, Ted Bauer. Right, this isn't appropriate for a start. David and David sitting in a tree. What if they were gay? What are you saying? Are you homophobic, Ted Bauer? Okay, well, that's not a good start. We need to take everything here with a pinch of salt, because as I said, that website is known for pranking, basically, and trying to ruffle feathers and cause a little bit of pandemonium. So this could all be a big load of BS, and Ted Bauer's showing his true colours. So this is Berryoko. David Berryoko, I said. Berryoko. What about Berryoko? Should we go with that? Oh, excuse me. So there's these rumours everywhere about Berryoko. David Loach. Now, is David Loach on Truth and Transparency? There was a Dave who she spoke with. Was that David Loach? It says David Loach is his boy and perhaps internet gossip, his lover. Okay. Wow. I don't think we need to hold that against him. And apparently they had beef with Ethan. But we don't know that is true. It's from 4chan. 4chan do like to stir things up a bit, so it could be a big load of BS. However, I am intrigued by the possible steroid use thing, and I do feel that this crazy crime could have been, you see, what I think is generally those sort of crimes be found out very quickly, but it depends if there was a cleanup job, which I just feel like that person with a mask screams cleanup to me. I don't know why. But, well, burglar or cleanup. Oh, tidy burglar. Oh, silly sense of humour. Oh God, no, I've gone OCD burglar and I've pointed straight at Brian Koberger. Anonymous. Ooh, there's some foul language here. They've used the C word. Right. I am quoting, so don't judge me, but schizophrenic cunts. And so it's listing two people, but there's not much space for two people there. David's, they've got a D there, did this. Something mad skills with lacrosse and knife and wrestling. What does that word say? Obviously I don't know what it says, but what could it say? E posed no challenge. E posed no challenge. What, Ethan? They already gave their alibis. What's E? Who's E? E's not, can't be Ethan. They already gave their alibis. DNA not in CODIS. They laughing now. Wow, that's the thing, isn't it? Not everybody's DNA's in CODIS. Not even Brian Koberger's. E posed no challenge. Bruh. You can see the King Road house from David's room. David's Sigma Chi room. Once that third floor light turned off, they did it. Can you actually see the house now? I didn't realise you could. $19 total, walk included. Do I tell you what this reminds me of? It just like sprang into my mind when I read this. The Walking Dead. You know, like in The Walking Dead, when Negan's, before that horrendous scene with Glenn and yeah, it is Abraham. Yeah, it just didn't sound right then. Before that horrible scene in that clearing where they're both bashed to death. So obviously Rick and his crew, the good guys, go enter the Saviour's quarters and go and stab them all in their beds, don't they? Or stab loads of them. But it's interesting, isn't it? Because that's like depicted in a way that there wasn't much noise and you didn't see much in the way of gore or anything, did you? This person, hold on, I haven't finished that bit, have I? 19 minutes total, walk included. Talk about this shit at Bishop Kelly and Sigma Chi. Talked about this shit at Bishop Kelly and Sigma Chi. Loach, is that supposed to be Loach? Loach and E got in a fight that night. Alzana allegedly talking shit. Al had problems with Mads also. This shit been brewing since Fall Rush last year. And Rush, I believe, is like a recruitment type thing. And I know, because I looked that up because Steve Gonsalves was talking about, I know that the college have Rush to think about, but that he was saying that the college wanted to wait until rush was over, what it sounded like he was saying was, they've got them, they know who it is, but they don't want to arrest him until after rush is over. That's not exactly what he was saying, but that's what I read into it. And the interview was at the beginning sort of December. I can picture the interview now, but I think it'd be quite hard for me to find it. I might try and find it. But yeah, so, and I was trying to look up when there was, I looked up what it was and when there was going to be another one. I don't know if there was something, I think the next one was after Christmas though, or if something might have been cancelled, I don't know. So Loach had problems with Maddie also. This shit's been brewing since fall rush last year. Cunts went quiet on SM for 2 weeks. On SM. What's SM? So it's not Sigma Chi. What was SM? Before and after the deed. Social media. Somebody's mum, Berry's mum. That's that Berry Okikoki. His mum is a paralegal, so he knows not to say shit. So Loach cleared his social media. So I am going to let you. So maybe you should hop over to Huda's channel which is, like I said, really good. Because I feel like a bit of a thief, seeing as I watched it last night. And you could she reads the comments out and she does a really good job of it. So I'm just going to read the rest of this article and see what old Ted Bauer has to say. But I do feel a bit like, when I read it last night, or not read it, when I heard it, I did think this makes sense. This does make sense. Because at first I really didn't think it would be any students. Not any students. I thought it was not any students that they knew. I just didn't feel like it was something like that. I felt like it was more likely a burglary gone wrong, and I felt like it, like I've said, I don't know, I think different things on different days and at different times, but one of many things I have felt like I don't know, it's just such a crime. It's just, you look up, try and find another crime like it, and you will struggle, because there are lots of crimes where people are attacked with knives in public type places. So the only way this crime would make sense is if there was a party that night and if some nutters ran in, because there was a birthday. That I can show you the article right now, bear with. So this is a Boise, Idaho crime. Brutal mass stabbing at toddler's birthday party. So at Boise, this is, I think it happened in Boise. Does it happen in Boise? What does AP mean? Associated Press. Boise Associated Press. A man who stabbed 9 people at a toddler's birthday party. The party was outside I think it was like in the garden, I think. Killing the 3-year-old birthday girl and leaving several others gravely injured. Will spend the rest of his life in prison for the crimes. This is mad, isn't it? So 4th District Judge Nancy Baskin sentenced Timmy Kinner to 2 life terms in prison plus another 120 years. Make sure you serve it all. On Thursday, after a heart-wrenching hearing that included a grim description of the attack and a recording of a 911 call made by a terrified 8-year-old boy. So it's not very credible that the reason that the 911 call wasn't released is anything to do with it being upsetting, because they release things like this, like little kids. So there's more to it than that, surely. I mean, I think that's reason enough. I can understand why they wouldn't release any 911 calls. I'm not entirely sure why they do, but apart from that, I know that American laws, that, you know, that everything is very, very open. But if they're going to release something like this, then it can't be the same reason, surely, unless it's different in different counties. So this 8-year-old had been stabbed. At one point, the slain toddler's mother threw a bottle of water and tissues at Kinner, prompting court officers to briefly clear the courtroom. The judge said she didn't think Kinner could ever safely be released. What made him do it? He's 33. Oh, right, is he? Pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and 11 other counts, including aggravated assault. See, I can see this crime being something like that. Some nutter runs in or psychologically disturbed individual runs in and stabs a load of people, because that's the sort of thing that seems to go on an awful lot. And in fact, the way they're trying to paint Brian Koberger is exactly that profile. You know, it's the profile that they're painting is not that of a serial killer. They're painting the profile of a school shooter. You know, he was bullied, he's lonely, he acted weird, and all that. This is how they characterise school shooters. And as we know, serial killers blend in, so it's not a very good way to characterise a serial killer. It just doesn't fit, and that's what they're trying to paint this crime as, that type of crime, or that the press are, at least. The mass stabbing on June, and like I said many a time, you know, with things like a mass shooting, a mass stabbing like this one, it can be a one-off, and it is a one-off. It's a one-time gig, and that's what this crime looks more like. But it's not some kind of serial killer. It's someone who just likes the people that, you know, like with Columbine, and I don't know if you know, but Eric Harris had a shit list, and I think that Dylan Klebold did as well. And oddly enough, I think there were very few, if any, people from the shit list, or off of the shit list, that were actually killed at Columbine. So I think these people who cause these mass attacks I don't think they're even seeing people as people. I don't know. They're just running around madly, just firing or stabbing, and it seems to be indiscriminate to a large degree. I mean, it seems, relatively speaking, it's not, it doesn't seem targeted in the sense of specific targets within that environment, although it does look like maybe this toddler was but so the victims were all refugees from Syria. It's the group that's the target, isn't it? It's something they represent. The victims were all refugees from Syria, Iraq and Ethiopia who fled conflict in their homelands and were resettled in Boise in hopes of a safer life. The attack left many with life-altering injuries. Kinner, a homeless man, but even if that was the case, why would it be Brian Koberger? I could see it being somebody else on that campus if it was this kind of thing and they targeted a group. I can't see it being a group in a different town, and they might represent something to that person, but then you think it was somebody who goes to that university and is more in their age group, not somebody older. But then again, this guy's 33. Yeah, a homeless man originally from Tennessee with bipolar and schizophrenia. He's obviously got something in his brain that's told him to do something. It is very, very sad, because although he has done something atrocious, he's a complete he's at the whim of his disorder. So he'd been staying at the Boise, Idaho apartment, where they had this party. He fled conflict and left. Oh, it was in an apartment. I thought this was in a garden. Am I looking at the right? And maybe that was a different one. Another birthday party with a new acquaintance where he was asked to leave because of bad behaviour. Police said he returned the next day and committed the mass stabbing, targeting a group that was outside the complex at the toddler's birthday party. So it's people from the complex but who were in a different place. Little Roya Kadir was turning 3 and her mother, Bitifu Kadir, apologies if I pronounce anything wrongly, had just gone inside the complex to get the girl's birthday cake when the attack began. Prosecutor Dan Dinger, you almost think it's somebody's kind of put him up to it. Dan Dinger said a young boy was the first to be stabbed. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, obviously. The aunt was stabbed more than a dozen times. God, this is brutal. Chased the boy's mother as she fled with her 6-year-old daughter. Managed to stab both mother and daughter and slash a 7-year-old across the face. Oh my God. A man was able to force him out of the building despite being stabbed multiple times. Kinner next attacked a 12-year-old boy. Jesus, guys, just... He picks her up, he stabs her in the heart, and he throws her to the ground, Dinger said. Hold on, I thought it was a boy. Was he talking about... Oh, and at some point attacked Roya. Sorry, I missed that bit. And Roya's the birthday... I forget whose birthday it was. Jeez. Police found the knife in a nearby canal. They found it in the canal. I wonder how long it took them to find that, because that's no easy task. Oh God, that is grim. God, I've forgotten what I was doing now. The confusing part of the Loach and Berriokoa rumours is that Ethan and Xana were on the second floor. We know that part, it's confirmed fact, so why not enter on the second, kill them and then exit again? I thought that's what they said had happened. Oh right, yeah, but they didn't just exit straight away, they went upstairs first. The only helpful swerve on this is Mad's target 2. They refer to Kaylee as titties. Bad luck. Oh, and this is what will happen on the final season of Breaking Bad. Both did restrict their Twitter. But 4chan is also chasing the idea that Dylan is transgender. So, which seems unlikely. Oop, whoops. I've just gone into Twitter. I do not like... the Hannah Clear thing. Just one thing that I wanted to... I haven't brought it up yet. I thought somebody might have mentioned it, so I didn't have to. But, you know, I found the... on... Oh, God, I don't know. Gray, he's a podcast... Not podcast, a YouTuber. Gray somebody. And on his channel, I found what Natalie wrote about the Nissan Sentra, and apparently Emma Bailey was in it and Scott Clear Jr. Well, from what I can see, that's Hannah's brother, Scott Clear Jr. But I don't know if there's another Scott Clear Jr. or if she got completely the wrong person, which she could have done. Or the whole... I mean, I don't know if any of it's credible, I don't know. Read the full story of the free account. Oh, just... Why do you have to sign into everything these days? It's just such a ball ache. Yeah, I'll just see what they say about roids, actually. Talks about leaving their cell phones behind. You know, with the Brian Koberger thing as well, and his cell phone, I suppose the suspicious thing is that it was turned on again, because my phone, I'm always... my phone's always dying. Like, I run out of battery all the time, and especially if you'd been using it. So what time? Well, we won't know anything until it was off for 2 hours, though, wasn't it? And he was supposed to have committed it in 20 minutes. So it's not like it was really, you know, I don't feel like that is a very good... You need... I mean, if it's put with other stuff, maybe it's a good indication, but it's not great indication, because it's 2 whole hours, and like, how long was it they saw him driving around? Wasn't that like within 1 hour? So I think there could be God knows how many people's phones that have gone off at that time, but the fact is that it was turned back on again, I guess, is the more suspicious thing, like that it was turned back on again. But in a way that's not suspicious. In a way, that's, why would you even do that? Why wouldn't you just leave your phone at home and you take a different phone with you? You're going to commit the crime of your life. You may as well buy another phone, take it with you, leave your phone at home, don't even turn it off, just leave it at home. I just feel like in one sense they want to paint him as a mastermind. In another sense, there's things that that anybody would think of, really. I'm like, it just makes me laugh that they say a criminologist, as if a criminologist, they would definitely be able to commit the perfect crime. Are you kidding me? Seriously, it's not just about knowing stuff, and that stuff is available to just about anybody now. People, true crime enthusiasts probably know, just as much as a criminologist would. And you can find out information as easy as anything if you want to. Really, that's just I don't know, just seemed like a very unlikely person to me. Right, I can't see. Maybe it wasn't here that I saw about steroids. I thought it was. Maybe it was in... Yeah, so that's the thing that I'm sort of curious about. And this is curious, all this message board stuff. But I don't feel like I trust this website very much. So, I don't know. It sounds plausible. But, anyway, who knows? But make sure you go over to Huda London's channel, and I'll put it in the description. Ta-ta for now.